That might fix it. Yes, that fixed it. Hello and good morning. Zilby came with an early visit to say hi today, so we're gonna start with an arm cat. But all right, what are we doing today? We had so yesterday we finished off with creating these sort of like exploding particles when the ship hits the asteroid and gets destroyed. I'm thinking, but those particles get added to the world, and that's great. And they fly around, which is understandable. But we want the ability for the particles to go away. Maybe particles can be different colors. Maybe we can use particles in different situations. We asked Utsby what the real game dev world does, and there's a couple different strategies to do. The one that I'm the most keen on experimenting on is the separate world. So we can actually spin up a new world just for the particles. I don't have to do anything separate, and I don't have to have like a bunch of components for normal entities that we don't just care about. Like, for example, time to live. So that's what we're going to be working on today. Let's see. I'm thinking we're going to probably do that down in the main library. And up here, where we have our world, we can add in another thing. So this could be our particles. Which can itself be a world. So up here, when we create world, actually, you know what? We don't necessarily have to create anything in here right now. Like, it can be just an empty world. Oh, you know what? We will have to register. So let's go ahead and then create this. It's gonna be the particles. Okay, so world new. Okay, so we get that expected semicolon. Oh, equals. Okay, so we create our particles. We're gonna have to register a bunch of components to it, but I'm not exactly sure what that is right now. But we can go ahead and add this in here. So particles. All right, so that's like the beginning of this. So if I want to create the, like, where do we create those other particles right now? I think it's in the systems. It's create the ship debris. In a way, though, we might want to like move away from like create ship debris, and instead, when we do collide with asteroids, because we know we're colliding with the asteroids right then, we could just, as we tell the ship to be destroyed, we could also tell the like the function or whatever, call function to add in all the particles. Which, I mean, would be ship debris, but maybe it won't be a system anymore. Maybe that would be a helper. and we can pass through the particles to be sent in, potentially. Again, another like a message passing system where they don't need to know about each other might actually be really interesting here. That would help a lot. There's a couple different ways to do that. I'm not sure I want to like go that deeply into it with Asteroids though. That might be the next game though. All right, let's I want to, okay, what happens in create ship debris? We get all this stuff. Oh, you're done? All right. Gonna go hang out by the window. No, you're not really gonna hang out. You're just gonna wander away. Okay. What are we doing here? So I'm thinking that collide with asteroids can then call a function in helpers. And this function can maybe be the entire create ship debris. Which will take the particles, which is it's gonna have to be a mutable reference to the world. Okay, so we're gonna have to take an immutable reference to the world. I don't know if we need anything else in here. We're probably gonna need the context. I think you need to be mutable. I don't know if we need anything else, but we can go ahead and return our standard result. Wait, that's the wrong one. Okay, so if we have this being passed in, what exactly is going to happen here? So I think, well, we have this debris mesh already here, which takes into context. We should probably have this taken a size and a color as well. So it's not just like pure white. It could be whatever we end up feeling like it. So let's do that too. We'll have a size. We know they're all circles, but to make that obvious, we can do radius and a color. Color. All right, so that's going to return this game result mesh. Okay, so then here in the create ship debris, we can then actually, well, call that mesh function and grab the, well, we just grab the mesh once, and then we can create it like however many times we want to. So let's do that now. So that let our mesh equals, and it's really the debris mesh. What are you? You are okay. pass in the context, radius. Let's make these like 2.0, and color, we can keep these as white for right now. But we can change them to be whatever we want. All right, so that will give us a mesh. We can go ahead and add this in to the world, which is the particles world. Let's actually name this like particles world. That might be more helpful. We can actually come back here and do the same thing. So your particles world. All right, so that should make you happy. Okay, so the idea here is that we're going to call this function from when the ship gets destroyed. So what do we want to have happen? We want to insert a bunch of these particles, which means we need to create, which means we need to create them to spawn. So we can do particles world dot spawn entity dot with component. I don't know if we need a marker for this because we don't really care, but name. We knew it needs to have a mesh. And I think we already have a mesh name, so that's gonna be fine there. And this can be the debris mesh. I think I can copy. I think it will copy it. I don't remember if debris mesh actually implements copy. Oh, it does not. Okay, so we'll have to clone this directly. Then, what do we want to have happen? We can actually leave this okay off and just sort of leave the last one without a, oh no, we can't because they're not compatible. I forgot. So that's how it's going to end. With component, we need to bring in the world method. I don't think we can do that. We need to bring in the world methods, right? Yeah, I don't need to do anything like that, but... Oh, that's just asking to bring that in. Oh, mesh dot toString. That's what you're upset about. All right, we're good to go there. Okay, so that creates the actual mesh. We can then draw that out later. We also know that we want it to move around, so we need a velocity. And you're going to be a point. This one, we're actually going to want to do that random. And I think... I don't want that random. Oh, okay, so we need to pass in RNG. So that way for this X, we can then do a RNG.genRange between like -0, 2.0. You don't know what type you need to be, do you? Oh, oh right, I forgot. It's now that. Okay. All right, next up. Let's what else do we need? So we have the mesh and we have the velocity. If I don't do anything else, I think that we can then get this displayed out. So I want to, let's see, we have the particles here, we add them in. So this means we need to register, mesh and a velocity. And you're going to be a velocity, and that means you're a point. Okay, so adding those two in will allow us now to actually run this create ship debris. We're going to want to run this create ship debris in the collide with asteroids. So here, okay, we delete the entity by index, so we delete the player. I don't think we need to store you anymore, and that was only for the particles. We have the last known position here. Because we have the player location. So I don't need you either. We just have this world delete entity by index, and then we need to call that function. So that's going to be the create ship debris. Pass in the particles world, pass in the context, pass in RNG, and then we can question mark this. Now we're in this for you, so we have to unwrap you. And so that means we need the particles world, which is immutable reference to the world, to a world. We need a context. And we need RNG, which is a mutable reference to a thread range. And that's just for passing in here. Now this will automatically be created. Now right now, where are we going to be creating them? They're going to be created like in the top corner. So we're probably going to want to pass in the location of where they're going to go. So you can pass in the player location, which is going to be a point. And let's add in another component here. Which means we need to register that too. All right, so toString. Okay, you're happy. Collide with asteroids is passing you in. Okay, player location. Expected. Oh, I don't need to like do that. All right, you should clone out. That should be fine. Or copy out, I guess. Let's see. Collide with asteroid system. We now need to pass in the particles world, the context, and RNG. RNG, I believe we're storing up here now. Oh, random is what we're calling it. I'm gonna rename you. Oh, nope, not that. I'm gonna name you RNG. I think it's what it's called in the documentation for the Rand crate, so that's why I want to do that. Right, so you're RNG. All right, so what do you need? You need a mutable reference to the particles world. You need the context, and you need a mutable reference to self.rng. Okay, so in create ship debris systems, we don't want to call this anymore. Like, we essentially want this entire file to go away. So I'm just going to delete it. We have access to it in like the Git history. So if I need to go look at it again, I can go get it out of there. And this means that in the main library, I don't want to grab you. I don't need to grab you. Yes, I know, it doesn't exist anymore. It's okay. Don't need that. Redundant clone. Okay, so you say you're just gonna do the thing. Debris mesh. Okay, so I guess it's going to copy itself. Debris. Oh, entity types. We're not gonna have debris in here anymore. Ship destroyed. Okay, so we don't need that. Which means we don't need this wrapped ship destroyed either. And we don't need the resource cast because we're not grabbing resources out in there. All right, then. This entire ship destroyed doesn't need to happen inside of library, so we don't need to register that as here. So add resource, ship destroyed. So that's not going to happen. And last name and player location, we don't need that either. All right, so only one phantom error. I think things will work properly, but we're not going to draw them out, right? Because we need to actually display that. So we do have a draw system here that takes in the world. I do think that I want a different system though for the other world. So I'm gonna create a new file and we're gonna call this the you know what? I'm actually thinking I might want to create another folder in here and basically just for the particles. And inside of that, have a mod.rs, and we'll also have a draw.rs. Okay, so how's this gonna work? Pub mod particles. Then in particles mod, we'll have a pub mod draw. And then in draw, we can actually do the thing. So pub function. This could be a draw system. We'll do a particles world is a reference to a world. We know we need a context. I don't know if we need anything else. In this case, let's just continue returning our own result. So what do we need out of the particles world? We need the meshes, and that's we need the meshes and we need the locations, and that's all we care about. Okay, so then you're a location. Okay, so once we have both of those, it's time for us to then actually extract the information. Okay, then we cast out the locations. Oh, I forgot to import mesh. I have resource cast. Oh, yeah. This is query 1. That's what we need. Wrong one. So then you're gonna be cast components, and this resource cast, we don't want you. Brought in the wrong one. Okay, so once we have our meshes, once we have our locations, we can now loop through all of our locations, and we can do a draw. Okay, so we get the index, we get a location. Let's go ahead and draw out. Let's see, we're gonna do our graphics. Draw. And in a context, the drawable. So it's gonna be a reference to the meshes index, then drop param. And here we need to give it a destination, which is going to be the location.toArray. All right, so that gives us that. We can now run our draw systems. That's going to be in draw down here. So this is going to be our particles. So systems particles draw system. Okay. Particles world, the context. That's it. Unwrap you. We're good to go there. You're still yelling at me about that. It's hard for me to know if I'm missing anything. I know that like the particle system isn't done, but I think that this would work. Okay, and I think, well, we have a single particle and it's just sitting right there. I don't think it's moving, because we're not updating it. We need an update. So it creates the location right there. So that's good. That's a good sign. What this means is that in our systems for particles, we need an update locations as well. This doesn't have to be mutable. We can now just have this be a reference to a world. And I think that's all we need. Okay, so what do we need to get out of here? We need, and we know that when we create these, all we have for our particles, we have a velocity and a location. So that's all we're going to update. We could add in acceleration later if we need to, but for right now we just need to get the wrapped locations and the wrapped velocities. And the velocities can be references because those aren't going to change, but the locations definitely are, so they need to be mutable. Well, hello. Do you want to play or do you want to just hang out? Oh, you want to play. Oh, but I don't have any toys for you down here. No, that's not a good thing to chew on. Sorry, don't have anything to throw for you. Oh, I think you can see the edge, like, kind of when I move aside. Is that... Oh, that's that way, okay. I might need to fix that. Ah! There, that's better. Okay, so let's get our locations first. And in this case, we're gonna borrow a mute. There we go. And we can just borrow here. All right, so that gives us that. We can now extract out and cast these. And then once we have that, it's just a matter of looping through all of the velocities and adding them to the locations, the appropriate location. We can do this again with another for each of locations. Okay, so our location is... Oh, I forgot. We need to give it the type that this is. Both these are actually gonna... Well, no, they're not gonna be exactly the same. Okay, so that's going to give us the point and use size. So now we can do location dot add. Oh, we can add a sign. Right. We can do plus equals to velocities of index. Okay, so that gives us this properly. Wrap velocities. Okay, so now we can update our location system. I kind of want this to be in particles. Update locations. Okay, so by running that now, I think we're just gonna get the particles sort of moving around as soon as they die. So let's try it out. There we go. Okay, so that goes off to the edge. Now the next thing that we want to do is in the create the ship debris. We want to decide like how many of these we want to create. Well, this one is where we can actually decide that. Although we can also have this, we can have our range. Yeah, let's do like a particle speed, and the number of particles created on like destruction could be a resource. So we can actually get that out here. Let's head back to the main library. Okay, so here's these add resources for the world. We can now do one for the particles world. What do I want to do in here? I want to see names mesh velocity. The first one is going to be like the speed, or rather like the range that it can go out at. If we do -1 to 1, we could normalize that. So even if it's like 0.1, negative 0.1, or one's like 0.9, they would be different speeds. I can normalize that and then multiply it by an actual speed that I want it to go. So we can do a particles world dot add resource, something about a speed. We can do it like a particle speed in here. And do we want like the specific type of particle this is? Maybe this could be like a collision particle speed, or a debris particle speed. I like that more. Okay, and then the data here, like what are we actually gonna pass in? You are gonna be just an F32, so we can say something like 2.0 F32. And then we want the count, like how many of them. Let's actually go back into names. And we can do like debris count, like particles count, or maybe debris count. Debris particle count. And then we can have this be, let's try like 10. And you can be anything. I don't remember what data type. Can I do U32? I guess I can. It will yell at me if I can't do U32. So that could be my loop through. So now we want to grab these two in our create particles. So here's our mesh that we create. Let's do this up here. So wrapped, what is this? It's the speed. Oh, we need to borrow it. And this is going to be the count. I guess it doesn't really make sense. I can just do count. Okay, so borrow those two things. Then we want to actually get the information out. So our speed is going to be a type of an F-32. It's really going to be a reference to an F-32. And that's our wrapped speed. And you're going to be a reference to a U-32. And a wrapped count. Okay, so grabbing those, our count is going to be simple. We're just going to do a for loop. Okay, so we'll just loop through that many times. Can dereference you in order to get the actual number. Then what are you upset about? Can't borrow, it is mutable. Oh, right, because we have these wrapped counts. Okay, so if I cast this, if I just do that, I think I can get rid of you. Oh. Once I get those out, I think we can drop the wrapped count. We can drop the wrapped speed. Yes, we can. Okay. So then debris mesh, used to move value for debris mesh. Yeah, okay. So I need to clone here. All right, so you're fine there. Let's go ahead and then. Okay, so for each of these, we need a velocity. Equal to a new point, which is going to be this. Once we have this velocity, I actually just want you to be -1 to 1. Then I want to normalize you. Once we've normalized the velocity, I then want to multiply it by the speed. And then that should now have it spread out in a, no matter what value it gets, it'll go out at the same speed. Okay, I think we're good to go here. Look at that. It just sort of like heads out on all the different directions. That's excellent. So we also want how long is it going to live when we create the ship debris? Let's have that actually be something that's passed in here. So this could be like ticks to live, which is going to be a U32. I don't remember what ticks is. Okay, so in timer here, there is a ticks. Oh, it's a U size. Okay, so we should make this a U size then. Once we have the ticks to live, we can then add that in here. So let's actually go back to the main library and register ticks to live, which means we also need to add in the names. So debris. And you're going to be a component usize. Which means in create ship debris, we can now add that as a component here. And then you're going to be just the pure data. So that's going to be the ticks to live. I don't necessarily care about this in draw, but in update, we're going to want to update the ticks to live. So tick them down and then kill it when it reaches 0. The other thing is that when we create the ship debris, we want like, how long do we want this to live? In this case, let's have it live. So we're doing 60 frames per second, 60 ticks per second. So if we want it to last like 1 second, there'll be 60 of them. If we want well, you know what, we should definitely get this out of the oh, what is it called? Resources. We should have a resource for it. We can actually world register this, because I think this is going to be pretty unique for each one, because I might want the ship's like destruction particles time to live might be different than maybe like if I have particles for like the bullets, like coming off the bullets, or particles coming out of the engine. Those could like maybe last a lot less time. So let's have the, okay, I think we need to head over to names. Oh, we already have, okay, debris ticks to live. That's, oh, because it might be actually different. So we have debris ticks to live, but we actually like have the specific types of debris that we care about too. So would this be something like debris? Yeah, okay, so this might be, oh, so we probably want this to be just be ticks to live. Yeah, ticks to live. And then this is gonna be debris ticks to live. Oh, I don't think I've got that yet. Okay. We have the particle count. We have you. Not you again. Okay. So in the world, we're gonna not register, we're gonna add resource. So this is gonna be the debris ticks to live. Now, if we're passing this through here, maybe you don't actually care about it being in here. This could be a particles world. Add resource, names, debris ticks to live. And our data, I forgot what type you are. I think it's just like a U size or something. So let's say 60 seconds. 60 is 1 second. Let's try like 5 seconds. Maybe it should be even less than that. Maybe it's like 3 seconds. So that would be like 3 times 60. Size. So what is that? That's 3 times 6. 2 is 120. 180. Okay, so we give you here for debris ticks to live, which means in our create ship debris, we don't need to pass you in. We just need to grab you out as the resource. All right, so we're gonna have to drop this also, but that's no problem. This is a U size. We're gonna need like, well, we have the context through, so I think we're gonna be able to just grab it out of a timer directly. Actually, no, we're just hold it and update. We're gonna have to have an update because I'm gonna delete them, but we have to store this away first. All right, so this can be the wrapped ticks to live. We're gonna cast you that, and also we reference you to get you out. And there we have with ticks to live. What are you upset about now? Oh, then we have to drop that. Okay, so you're happy here. That's the asteroid systems. We no longer have that. Okay, so that's gonna be fine. Okay, we need another system to remove and delete the particles once they're done. So that's sort of like update life. I don't think we need mutable reference to this, so this can be just a reference to a world. And I think that's all we need. All right, so in here, what do we need? We need things that make up a particle. We need our life system. Basically, everything here we know is a particle because it's in the particles world. So if we get our life system, then we can mark it as deleted. We can get the index of it, we can delete by index. And that's what's gonna happen here. So we need to query for the life left. Oh, we need to decrement it first, and then we can query it, which means we are gonna need the context in here. Okay, so we need to get that wrapped, like ticks left, ticks to live. You're gonna have to be mutable. String. Okay. We're gonna borrow mute you. I don't necessarily think we need anything else in here from that. So you can just go ahead and grab ticks to live, which is gonna be a mutable reference to a vector of usize. Okay, so we get that out. Then we want to decrement the ticks to live every one of these. So we can for each this. So ticks to live, we can iter mute this. We can also enumerate. And for each, which will give us the index. And it will also give us the like the ticks to live. I guess like this could be just like ticks. Oh, I guess it's tick, right? It's like tick to live instead of plural. Then we want to remove one from it. So tick to live minus equals to 1. I need to dereference that. Okay, so we're happy there. And then we can say if tick to live is now, I guess just in case I somehow miss it, if it's now less than or equal to 0, then I want to particles world dot delete entity by index, and pass it that index. Oh, I guess it's a 0. Oh, it's a, yeah, fine. Fine. I'll do that. It can't be less than 0 because it's a U size. Unsigned integers can never be less than 0. Okay, so this is now, yeah, I don't even need the context, do I? Because I'm not actually comparing ticks. I'm just, every single time this was running, I'm removing down. Okay, so then this goes down. We mark it to be deleted. We can now run the update life system. So back to here, let's go to update. Okay, so if we do that, and then down here we have self world update. We can do self dot particles world dot update and unwrap. Okay. Now let's see if all of our ticks sort of disappear after a couple seconds. Oh no, error. What happened? Oh, unwrapped on an error value, component with name, debris ticks to live, not found. Debris ticks to live. So component with name not found. In a convert, okay. Did I change like the name up here? So we have asteroid. Okay, debris ticks to live here. We set it to 180. Then in update life, we get debris. Okay, debris ticks to live. I have that as a query. I think this is wrong because this is just a resource. Wait a second. In create ship debris. Okay, so we get a resource here. And then debris ticks to live. Okay, then we add that with component in here. Did we register that? Debris ticks to live. Oh, right, because it's actually ticks to live. It is ticks to live here for that, but it's debris ticks. Oh, great. Ticks to live. I think that'll work. No, it didn't. Error component with name, debris ticks to live. Right, now when we query out, we have to update with that. So this is update life system, so we're actually getting you ticks to live here. Okay, so panicked. Component with name to be deleted, not found. Component with name to be deleted, not found. Oh, because we're doing... this delete entity by index here. So it's trying to figure out. Here's our update. Stuff.world to update, unwrap, and then particles world update, unwrap. So it's trying to find here the deleted. That should be taken care of behind the scenes for us. We shouldn't have to do anything when we mark it to be deleted. That should update internally, and then that should run just fine and happy. All right, what's the exact error? Okay, so unwrap on an error value component with name to be deleted, not found. I am spawning an entity properly, I believe. Just to make sure, if we come back up here, we create asteroid, spawn entity, we do that, and then the rest of our stuff in create ship debris, we do spawn entity like that with component. Okay, that's fine. We do that on particles world. And we need to make sure that we're passing in the particles world to here. So in our main library, in update, collect asteroid system, we do pass in a mutable reference to particles world. And inside of view, particles world is passed in like that. Okay, that's fine. I didn't forget to save anything, did I? Let me restart RLS, or Rust Analyzer, just in case. Okay, so this is line 215 is what it's saying. Okay, so it is the particles world update, okay. Is Zilby in petting distance? He was here twice, and we petted him twice today already. Zilby, are you here? No, I don't think he is. He's not here right now. Also, hello, Lord Mist. You cannot possibly pet Zilby too much. That's true, although he might think so. At least if you try to pet him without a toy. He sometimes would rather play than be pet. Just sometimes. Okay, so what am I doing differently than here in this like particle worlds update? Because there is none yet. That's what it is. Okay, so we have to head on over to BBECS now. No, BBECS. In this world entity mod. Oh, you want to play the Get the Streamer game? Absolutely, we can do that. So the problem is that we only create those particles sometimes. When we need to. and we're marking them for deletion every single frame. So I need to check to see if we have anything to delete. If we do, that's like the only time we do that. All right, let's play Get the Streamer game. And now, okay. We'll see how long I can last against you. Oh, hello, Rizix too. Ah, I got stuck in a corner. Oh, no, don't die. Ah, you got me. You got me. Oh, Chantilly Cake, you were in there too. Hello and good morning. All right, so I know exactly what to do for this. We need to check to see if we have inserted anything, really anything in, because in this specific case, there is absolutely nothing inserted into the world, which is our problem. So in this delete entity by index. So in our update here, to be deleted. Yeah, so we're going in like marking something to be deleted, but I think really we can like maybe do some like counting in here. Do we have any entity data is like the big question. Have we inserted anything? Once we've inserted something, then we can like do this query and it'll be fine. So we can do like an is empty. So let's see, in this world, we can have like a is empty. This will start as a Boolean in default. Oh. Here it is. Default, you're going to be false. Did I pull in is? Pulled in scalar to world. I didn't need that apparently. Well, I'll get rid of that later. Okay, so is empty is bool, and then when we spawn entity, we're gonna mark this as true now. So self dot is empty is false. Ooh, I want it to be the opposite. So is empty should be true to be as default. And then in update, we're only going to do this update here if self dot, if like not self dot is empty. Or rather, we can just do an early exit. So if self dot is empty, we're then gonna return okay, like that. Otherwise, we're going to move forward. So if I do that, and I think my cargo.toml is referencing the local, right? Yeah, I'm just doing the local path. So let's do a cargo run. Yeah, okay, so here. Oh, that's for 186 and then crashes. Okay, panicked at index out of bounds. The length is 1, but the index is 1. when we removed that, if it became empty again and they all get deleted, I think that might be the problem. I want to say that we get this error when we're trying to delete. Yeah, it's okay. So it's this world mod at line 61. To be deleted, index is true. Because you no longer exist. I think that's what it is. It no longer exists. So that's actually in the delete entity by index. I would have expected it to be in the update problem. But so here is... Oh, okay. So we just need to make sure that we have a length here. So if to be deleted dot is empty, so is not empty. I guess we can do the same thing. We could use this as a guard class. We're gonna return. Okay. Otherwise, we're gonna continue through. Let's try this. Index is out of bounds, length is 1. Okay, so what happened here? A mod 65. Length is 1. Oh, the length is 1, but the index is 1. Oh, okay, so hold on. Let's actually try to be a little bit more smart about this. If I try to if the index is greater than or equal to be deleted, that length. If I just do that, so we don't do anything, what's going to happen? Attempt to subtract with overflow. And now that becomes update life 18. Update life. It went to negative. It tried to go to a negative. Because it didn't get deleted. Because it didn't actually get deleted. Okay. So we're gonna have to play around with this next time. I'm gonna actually remove, where did I update this? Where's my update? I'm gonna remove this guard clause so we get that error back again. I'm gonna have to come back to this tomorrow because it's 8:23. It's time for me to head off and start doing work type stuff. But I think we're in a better place. We need to be able to mark that these are to be deleted in like a better way. And I think our actual deletion is causing us to have problems. But we may have to like actually set our environment variables and do some proper tracing and like figure all that out. So I'm gonna go ahead and end the